lit that candle and you can't really see it because I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. I get nervous red spots on my neck right now. I don't know why. It just feels like forever since I have like created such an honest chit-chatty video about so much of my life. But I know it's gonna be okay. You guys are nice, and as I've often said in these videos, I film these yearly reviews more for my sake than for yours, because I want to be able to look back on these 10 years from now and to see how I felt and how life was to me back in 2019, like many years from now. So just gonna grab a bit of water and then let's get personal. It's actually 4th year in a row that I'm filming this, so if you want to see the previous years, like, it's so much fun to see 2016 because I look so different. If you want to watch those, I'm gonna leave links down below, but we're gonna talk about 2019. So Elise, many years from now maybe. 2019 was a year where a lot of things happened. You started out the year going on a trip with Catherine to Berlin. After that, you came back home and started on your driver's license, which you also took in 2019 when you were 25 years old. Yeah, you were slow. And then in the middle of taking my driver's license, I also said goodbye to the stock room, or meaning that I said goodbye to the stock, so I wasn't gonna have it in my apartment anymore. And it was such a weird day, like a big relief, but it also felt like I was actually saying goodbye to my web shop and that it was gonna get completely out of my hands. It moved like 200 kilometers away, which felt really like a big deal to me back then. But it was also really nice to get my apartment back because it had been really stressful being here for like half a year by that time. So it was great and scary at the same time. Then in the summertime I went to Malaga with my mom. It was in August, and that was my first break in 2019. It was my first like many days in a row where I was gonna take time off, and it felt amazing. I read a book, I chilled, and mentally that was amazing. Then late in the summertime, my partner in the company and I started to talk about her wanting to leave the company, and it started so many like new scary thoughts in my head. What was I gonna do, and how would that work? And it was also at the same time I was buying a car because I got my driver's license at the end of July, and I was looking for a car. So it was now time to make like serious decisions. And actually I think by the time that I bought my car, I did not know finally that Lisa was gonna leave the company and I would have to buy her 50%. So I don't know how I managed to be that lucky, but the decision on getting a cheap car instead of a newer expensive one was one of the best decisions I've made for myself, because that meant I actually had some money to buy her out. Even though I'm still working my death off. Is that death? No, it's not. Can't remember the word. Debt. So yeah, I bought Celine, and it was like at the very end of summertime. I felt such a big freedom because I could go anywhere that I wanted with her, and it was amazing. Like all of the feelings that I had, I was so happy. In October we decided on a price for her 50% of the company. I bought her out. That was in October. Then I had 1 month to find a place because I was gonna go pick up the stock room on the 1st of November. That was like the date that we had set that I was going to get her 50% and own the company all by myself. So I had 1 month to find a place, which was so stressful. I had some crying that month, but I did end up finding what I thought back then was an okay space to use. And so we picked up the stock on the 1st of November or the 31st. in October, I can't remember, but around that time, and it felt so crazy. That was also the day that I transferred that big amount of money from my bank account to Lisa's, and I owned 100% of the company. Then we spent all November and half of December getting the place ready for me to open a physical store, because that was also one of the major decisions that I had to take that year, or make that year, was whether to find a space where I could only have a web shop, or to find a space where there would be room for both a web shop, like shipping out orders, but also having a physical store, which has been a dream of mine for so many years. I did not think it was ever going to be possible. The few times I've mentioned it to Lisa, she have not really been fond of the idea, so it was not something I thought was ever going to be possible. But the fact that I found a place and did that felt huge, like humongous. On the day that we opened, I was so exhausted, it was difficult for me to feel anything, but it was still such a big day. And I still sometimes, when I close the boutique, I sit out in my car and look into the boutique and I'm like, how did this happen? It happened so quickly, and it's like my emotions are still not really like, I still haven't coped with everything. I feel like I'm still gonna wake up tomorrow and it won't be the truth, it won't be my life, but I think it is. That's crazy. So we opened up on the 14th of December, and on the exact same day my brother became a father. So I became an aunt on the opening day as well, which it was something that my sister and I, we had been joking with, that it would just be typical if they ended up giving birth on the exact same day that I opened up, and they did. So that was crazy. He is beautiful. We love him, we adore him. He's the cutest little guy, and I can't wait to see him like grow up. He's not my child, but it kind of feels like I'm a part of that. I am. So that's amazing. That was 2019. So let's dig into some of the hot stuff, because it's probably why you pressed this video anyway. So to be honest, 2019 has not been a massive year of like dating, but I have seen a few guys, and like I've tried to do what I could with the time that I had. So I saw an actor for a bit in the spring of 2019, and then a guy came. I've never mentioned this in my videos. A guy came to visit me all the way from Berlin. As I said in the beginning, Catherine and I took a trip to Berlin, and while we were there I matched with a guy on Tinder that I had a lot of contact with throughout like a few months, and then we decided that he was gonna come, just like 1 month actually. It was pretty intense, and we decided that we were so interested in each other that he was gonna come up here and visit me. So he did. And I'm just gonna say he was the photographer. And by the way, the reason why I'm saying what they were doing is for me to remember them like 50 years from now. Because I can't really say their names in this video. That would just be a little bit of like crushing the line, I think. Privacy, it's a big thing. And then I burned my fingers a bit in the summertime. I saw a guy for I think about a month, and then he told me that he was still not over his ex-girlfriend, and then he still wanted her back. So by saying that, he was saying that he wasn't ready for anything serious. Luckily he said that so early that I did not have too many feelings yet, but I still felt a little bit hurt by it, because I actually really liked him. I liked spending time with him. He was intelligent and funny, like we had fun. So that ended, and then I've seen a musician for a little bit, but that was also complicated. And now I am just open for new exciting things to happen soon, hopefully. Like something would be lovely to experience soon. And I think that's been one of the major lessons in 2019, that a guy might have a really interesting job which is something that I really like and find interesting, because I feel like I get inspired by the things that he does, and that's like, I really like that. I like that we can inspire each other, and by being kind of in the same business in some way, because you don't really have a normal full-time job, and it's very like up and down, it's not always the same, and I just like to be able to talk about those things and get inspired. But it doesn't make sense if the person is living like 150 to 200 kilometers away from you, because that means with them having a tight schedule and you having a tight schedule, like the musician I've been seeing, there won't be time to see each other. There won't be time to get to know each other like for real, because you might be able to see each other once every second week or even less, which just make the process of getting to know each other very long, because it's stretched out so much that sometimes it feels like it's the first time we see each other when we meet. So yeah, distance is not good, and I think I've learned that this year, because I've met some really cool guys. They have just been living too far away, and that has actually, I think sometimes, just been the reason why it didn't work out. So Elise, you were still single when 2019 ended, but honestly, you have never felt better about being alone. 2019 has been a great year of being alone. You've been nicer than ever towards yourself when it comes to your body and your thoughts regarding yourself, and that has just made you very calm. This is weird, I'm talking to myself, but that just made me really calm in 2019. I've just felt comfortable, I felt good, so I'm not stressed out about finding someone, but it would still be lovely to experience a longer relationship than just a month where people are getting to know each other and then they find out that they live too far away, or that the schedule is too tight, we can't find time, or just something. So it would be really nice to find someone to get to know. Yeah, and that brings me to my resolutions for 2020, the new decade. It's gonna be a good one, and my number one resolution is to get the courage to let somebody in this year, because I have been really busy, but I am also really bad at letting people very close to me, like really letting them get under my skin and for me to open up and feel safe. And I think you can feel if somebody is safe when they're with you. And if a person doesn't really feel safe and super comfortable, like 100% comfortable, then that's noticeable. So this year I would love to get the courage, if I find someone that's worth it, to really be able to open up and give 100% of myself. And then I need to find balance in my work life this year, and try to see if I can work a little less. And if you're wondering why I'm still struggling, because you might be thinking, Elise, you have so many things going on. Yeah, but I work a lot of jobs that I don't really make a lot of money on. I don't have a steady income from the same job that comes in every month. My months are like this, and I have jobs where I don't earn anything. I've now been working on my own business for 2 years, and I got my first paycheck in January, and now I can't afford to have one for February this year. So it's very up and down. I wrote down here, I do a minimum of 15 hours of freelance work every week. And then I have my web shop, I have my physical store, I have social media, both YouTube and Instagram. It actually also takes up a lot of time. And I also still have the thrift shop. I've just not been there for a while. And I try to push in like extra things. I'm gonna go do a presentation tomorrow about being an entrepreneur. Actually, it's crazy, scary. So I try to make a little bit extra money when I can, but it also means that my schedule is gonna get even tighter. And it means that I never have a day off. When I say that I take Monday off, this is Monday's day, I have filmed 2 videos today. And I've been running errands. I've called the post office, or like the post central in Denmark, because there were some issues, and like there is still things to do even on my day off. So actually I never have a day where I can just sit without feeling any guilt and watch films all day long and just chill, because it is not possible for me if I want to put food on the table and also have kind of a fun life. Not that I live a very expensive life, because sometimes some of you will comment on the fact that I go thrifting as an example. But if we just put that into perspective, I rarely get anything like new or rather expensive. I buy things the cheapest that I can find, and that also makes it possible for me to sometimes do like a room makeover or an apartment makeover, because I'm good at putting a little bit of money aside and then just like buy my things cheap on sales in thrift shops, because I know that I wouldn't be able to afford something crazy. So sometimes when people comment on the fact that I go shopping, I'm like, yeah, I go thrifting. It's not like I go into a Gucci store and spend my money. I'm like very aware of what I spend my money on and how much money I spend. So yeah, money has been a big thing, and it's something that it's a big thing. So that also brings me to this that we talked about in my last video, the Patreon account. If you would like to support this, like creating content, if you still want to see me do content in 2020 and prioritize that, maybe be able to cut down a little bit on freelance work and not feel that amount of stress every month, not knowing how much money I'll have next month, then you can go support me. I have opened up an account. You can either donate with $2 a month. I found out that Patreon takes a cut, so I thought $1. It's gonna be very, very little. So it's $2 or $5. And that would just make it possible to do like more fun videos as well. And like we could do like thrift challenges or makeovers. We could do trying out curling methods where I need some tools. Or we could even go on trips around Denmark. And that's another thing. If you choose to go donate and be a part of this, kind of like having a membership here, you also take part in like deciding a video a month. So if you have had some cool idea, like we want to go thrifting other places in Denmark and go on trips, that would be possible. If you would love to see me go to Copenhagen and see how it is to shop vintage or thrift there, we can do that. So, and also if you just want to see an apartment tour because you haven't seen one in 2 years, or you just want to see a cool, calm Q&A or a topic about, or a video about a certain topic, then we can do that, because that's going to be up to you guys. And I will film that for you, because I will put aside the time, because I now know that I'm actually financially, it's helping me. It has been stressful. I want to do 2 videos a week. That's the goal. But it's so difficult these days because I work so much. I always understand why some of you sometimes comment on the fact that it just looks like my like life is so easy and I just go shopping and have fun. But you see 1 day a week and the rest of the time I am stressed out. I'm like working my butt off, and then when I get back from work in the afternoon I am so exhausted that I just go to sleep on my sofa. So my life is really just like a lot of work and a lot of jumping from one task to another task to another task and remembering that thing and for that company, and it's a puzzle. So I'll have a link for the Patreon down below, and if you want to join in, that would mean the world to me. If you don't want to or can't, that's also okay. But if you do, I just want to say that the amount of love, I'm not going to be emotional now. The amount of love that I received on my last video, in which I talked about possibly doing a Patreon account, it's just very overwhelming. Seeing that so many people that you don't know in real life, oh my god, that so many people you don't even actually know in real life, that they are ready to want to support you. That's just like crazy. And I know it's not the first time it has happened. It was also the deal with the web shop. If it wasn't for you guys and your support in coming with ideas or getting a Christmas present on my web shop or something like that, it makes such a huge difference. And I just want you to know that. It's just, I don't even know how to say thank you enough for it to make sense, because it's just huge. It's just the coolest thing about the internet, and the strongest thing about it is that you can meet people all over the world online that you connect with, that you have the same interests as, and that you just like and enjoy spending time with. Like, when I take my camera out and go thrifting, I bring you guys along, and that's just such a strong thing that we have today. So yeah, just wanted to say thank you for always being so incredibly nice. This video is really long. It's really long. Don't know if any of you have seen it till the end. If you have, you're pretty amazing. And you can comment bookies down below if you did, because that's something we've done a few times throughout the years. So yeah, 2019 was... that felt so quick. And that's also why it would be very nice and healthy for me to just like speed down a little bit this year. If it was possible for me financially and with the store, it would be really good for me to go on a few trips this year, to say, okay, in May around my birthday I'm going to go away for a few days somewhere, and then again in the summertime I will take a break. That would be really good, really good. That was my year 2019. Let me know down below what is the biggest thing that happened to you in 2019. Like, what made the year? What is the thing that you will definitely remember from your 2019? I would love to read that, if you're still watching this. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'm going to see you all very soon. Yeah, bye guys.